All right, guys, we're just jumping straight into it. You guys already know who we are. You guys already seen the title. We're talking about Joker, Folie, Deux, Joker 2. We don't even care to go into the plot right now. We're going straight into the review. And I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of the first Joker movie. Um, I really, really loved it. I was so hopeful for this film, and it fell flat so bad. It was so dull. Let me start with the positives. Visually, cinematic. What is it called? Cinematography, gorgeous.
Mhm.
The acting actually isn't bad either. And then everything else sucked. Marissa, can you take over, please?
Ed, I'm gonna be honest with you. Ed,
Hmm.
I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I did not think that this movie sucked as bad as you are saying that it
Get out of
is.
here. No way. For real?
I felt like I wouldn't say that it's like the best movie ever, and I wouldn't say that it's a great movie or a good movie, but I don't think that it sucked as bad. I'm not saying that it didn't suck, but I don't think it sucked as bad as you're saying that it did. Um, Overall, like for me, the story was there plus more. And I think that's kind of what like got me personally. Like it was about his trial. It showed what led up to the trial. It showed up events that happened within the trial, and it showed up what happened after the trial. And there was a little bit of some plot twist that happened, and I was like, "Oh shoot." Like I didn't expect that. Now there were some things that fell through. And some things that I didn't agree with and how it portrayed. And I remember we talked about this in another video before, but I just don't like it when singers become actors. Like
Mm.
I love Lady Gaga, and she didn't really like have to portray too much, I guess
Mm-hmm.
you can say. Like she did a good job, but I just personally like it bugs me like when a singer starts becoming like an actor. Like they need more lessons or something. I understand why they chose her, but
No,
overall I thought it kind of what go ahead.
no, because that's one of my problems with this film is I actually do think Lady Gaga is portraying the role in the most perfect way, but I feel like the director and whoever the writers, producers, they were like, let's get Lady Gaga, but instead of using her for acting, we were just like, we just want her voice. That's all we really care about
Yeah.
for this film. And like, where there is some like really good acting, from her, it is just like washed over from just the nonstop singing that they do. And I was such a big proponent for the musical aspects, but it's like every 10 minutes, the song choices that they did, it just felt flat and uninteresting to me. And then like every single time where you're about to get into what's going on in the film, they pull you right back out to do one of these slower ballads. And it's like, okay, like we already know she has this voice, and it's overshadowed the entire film.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it just wasn't enough for me. Like her acting just wasn't enough for me. But I do understand the overshadowing and stuff like that. Like it was kind of like hidden in the shadows and whatnot. The one thing too that I do have to complain about, I did not know that this movie was going to be a karaoke night with your girls kind of type of movie. Like I did not know that it was gonna be a musical, and it made me think of Les Miserables, and I did not like Les Miserables because of how
Yes.
much the songs played.
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't even, if I can't even get the storyline or get the acting or whatever, or just a little snippet,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes straight into a song over and over and over, like that irritates me so much.
Yep. And that was another big problem for me. Like you said, you liked the courtroom stuff and like the
Mhm.
story for that, and I like that. It's just In a normal film, the whole entire movie is the whole courtroom process. In a normal movie, that whole movie could just be within 15 minutes. So they're dragging it out along with putting all these musical aspects in the film that didn't need to be there in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know. So the first film, right? It made over $1 billion. Warner Brothers was like, "Yo, we gotta bring this back because it made so much money." And Joaquin Phoenix was like, "I don't want to do it unless it's more creative and stuff like that." And then that's when the director, I think his name is Todd Phillips, something like that. The director was like, I got this idea for a musical, and that's when he was like, I'm on board. And for me, I thought it was gonna be more of like, in certain scenes there will be some music. It will tie in really well with like the music being in his mind, and it is for some parts of the film. We are not sure if there's other parts that are actually he is singing in real life. We don't really know. But like the first film, he does like the dances and stuff like that, and they're very like they're very in specific scenes in the film, very like 2 or 3 times in the whole film. The music is like nonstop through the entire movie, and it just takes you out of the moment when it comes to the courtroom stuff. And for me, the courtroom stuff wasn't even enough to make a full movie about. So those two things together, it's just like it just made everything so uninteresting.
Yes, we were following the trial, but then on the same time that we were following the trial, there was like little tidbits in the middle of it besides the musical part, because the musical part really like bothered me. I didn't like understand that and didn't really care for that. But just like the little like tidbits of like him in the prison and him with Harley at the musical group, and just like stuff in between his trials still kept me going, but it did drag on a little bit.
And I think those moments in the film, those are the things we should have focused more on, because I really do like the stuff in them. I love Arkham. We never had a movie or ever, besides the cartoons or the comics, there's nothing that even like remotely comes close to Arkham Asylum. So like that would have been cool to explore, and like the craziness that goes within there. And they just didn't really go that route, besides the, like you said, the in between here and there things. But I thought that was the story, and they didn't do that. And again, the courtroom stuff, that could have been 15 minutes. They just kept bringing people back from the first film to talk about what happened in the first film, and it's like, yeah, we know, we saw it already. Like, there's no need to rehash this thing and bring more witnesses in that, yes, we know, we saw it again.
No, for me it was different, because for someone that forgot a little bit about the first movie, when they brought in the witnesses and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I remember. Oh, okay, I remember that now too. So I needed that.
Understandable. I don't know if you saw though that there is a lot of hints and like paying homage to Heath Ledger in this film.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't really.
When he escapes and that dude that is dressed up as him helps him in the car, the driver is wearing a mask, and it's the same mask that Heath Ledger wears in the bank heist in The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh.
Yep. And then later on in the film, where he eventually dies, the dude that kills him is like putting the scars on his face, because Heath Ledger's always like, you want to know how I got these scars? Yeah. So, and there was a few other things too that, for comic book nerds, we saw Harvey Dent. I don't know if you know, that is Two-Face. So when the bomb went off in the courtroom, Arthur is walking away to go outside, and you see Harvey like against the wall, but half of his face is like super cut up, like, and bleeding and stuff like that, which is Two-Face. And yeah, it's always been like a thing that Joker turns Harvey, which is supposed to be this honorable man and stuff like that, into the monster that he does become in Two-Face. So one of those like subtle things.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so to go back to the acting, I do want to say what made this less suck for me is definitely Joaquin Phoenix. I just feel like he just portrays Joker so amazing, and I know that he was saying that he losing that weight took such a toll on him that he probably won't be Joker again. Um,
He did it.
but truthfully, huh?
He did it. Like, that transformation's crazy.
It's crazy. When he first came out of the cell in the beginning of the movie, I was like, what's going on with him? Like, he looks sick. Oh my gosh. I do have something for you though, real quick. Why did the Joker stop running?
What do you mean?
Why did the Joker stop running?
Oh, why?
He prefers Joaquin.
I'm I was so confused, but that's a good one. Another thing is too, I'm sorry, but I forget his name. Gleason. The guard. The main guard, the Irish guard. He like loses his mind in this one scene, and then like he kills the dude, and then they kind of like do a flashback to when Joker first killed his guy, and then like he's in the mirror, and that's his transformation moment. And I thought like, okay, they're gonna use this moment for the guard to like know how it feels like to kill somebody, and that's gonna be his transformation moment, and then that's how he gets involved or does something with the Joker. But now he just shows up today. I mean, well, the next day, like nothing happened, normal.
Yeah.
Like happy as can be. So like that whole thing didn't have to be in there. The whole interview with the random dude didn't have to be in there. Like there's so much stuff that it just kept dragging on and on.
Like I said, it wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't the worst for me. Truthfully, I still give this movie a recommend. I think you should watch it, get it out of your system, get the Joker out of your system, and then make your decision about how you feel about this movie afterwards.
That's fair. For me, I'm very similar to Rotten Tomatoes. There's a critic score and then there's audience scores, and usually critic scores are much lower than audience. They're both hanging around that 30% mark right now out of 100. And that's where I am with this film. There's, again, some stunning cinematography, visual things that look absolutely beautiful. I think the acting, I had no problem with any of that stuff. It just all had to do with the direction and maybe the script of what was going on was my biggest problems for it. So this is a no recommend from me. I just had such high hopes for this film, and it fell flat for me. It's one of those, and I'm sorry I keep rambling on, but like for me, I have three tiers. There's good films that like make you feel great and all that stuff. There's bad films where like at least they make you feel something, and then there's uninteresting films where it's just like it's not even worth talking about. And that's where this film kind of lies for myself.
Oh,
yeah,
that's too bad.
Yeah, but more than anything, like Marissa said, we want you guys to have your own opinion, and we want to hear that in the comments down below, what you thought about this film. Whatever it is, leave it down in the comments below.
And if you have any other suggestions on any other movies that we should review, please leave a comment down below so we can turn your idea into reality.
And thank you guys so much for joining us today on Distant Critics.
Thank you.